Another feel safe, another feel safe, another feel safe. I just stay afraid, I just stay afraid, I just stay afraid. Another feel safe, another feel safe, another feel safe. I just stay afraid, I just stay afraid, I just stay afraid. Sometimes I go allow. I just want allow. Body na me young, but you get some man with just one for sell 'em. Take me for rituals, cut me parts and go sell 'em. I'm also human, I got my dreams, so do ya please remember. I just stay afraid, I just stay afraid, I don't feel safe, oh, hey. I'd go the hello. If I see a stranger come na me, the mountain come in a one corner, oh. Hey, I go the hello. The body na me only no get the right for go sell 'em, oh. Hey, I go the hello. If you see stranger call you inside motor car and they allow. Now the time comes so when they take small picking go sell 'em. Take come and them cut them part for the money and the power. Now the time comes so they go do all kind of things we go bring them back. Then take mortal man go kill 'em and sell 'em for do them rituals. But you where they see make you know that you mought. If you sitting there go wrong now, you corner big phone and call. Run to the police, call you mama, the soldier or the chief. We all for make sure say we help for save a life. Oh, make we they allow. When nurses stranger they call one small picking now the corner. Oh, I go they allow. Me body na me right, not to for you for grab and go sell out. Hey, make we they allow. If you want for leave, no sell 'em for you money and power. Hey, make we they allow. Make we raise we voice for protect the small picking when not get voice. Hey, I go they allow. Protect the picking the woman or person waiting on you. Oh, make we they allow. They need we help, they need we voice. Oh, call the police, call the soldier or the chief. Call you mama, call you papa, brother or sister. Say mama, mama, papa, papa. Cry for help, call, raise your voice. Say mama, papa.
Mama, you don't sew me clothes? Mama!
Yes.
What do you they do?
I don't sew the skirts though, I just the top number now left.
What do you mean by don't sew the skirt? Mama, service don't start, and they keep us saying
Give me 25 minutes, man. I just the top number. Wait.
Mama, I don't get time.
Wait, 25 minutes. Now I have the app. Don't.
Lights don't go.
Hey, mommy, you know wait, the lights don't go. So wait, my one go quick up like this junction. I might go buy headset to put on.
Mama,
Give me 30. Give me 30 minutes and they can't quick.
Elsa agent on Sunday. But you not get free money.
I feel money.
Give me your meter number.
Oh,
You dey pay me money back.
what about me? 00.
Don't let lights out affect your work. Use AfriMoney to buy top up for your EDSA meter. Dial *161 *2 *2 *1 hash now and top up your EDSA meter anytime, any day.
Ah, mommy, the lights not clear. I feel money now, magic, mommy. The mommy, you tough, mommy, you kind of there.
Mama,
Make look.
AfriMoney. Quick.
On the Brunch Show on Radio 97.1 FM. Today is a brand new day and we are excited to be here to talk about things that are affecting us all one way or the other. As I said, it's a brand new day and we like the way the sun they shine, we like the atmosphere, the way the weather just cool and sweet. And Radio 5 Friday again for talk about relationship issues, in the way they affect it, in the way we feel like we can deal with it in a very subtle way. And today, now, one day, we really want to talk about how we able to manage conflict, how we able to manage the differences, and how we able to manage incompatibility. Some people already don't enter a relationship before they even know say they are not compatible. So how can you manage all those? And before we go into the conversation, me your name na Mary KOROMA, and I get here with me, we wonderful Coach Maisie. Don't there with we for most of the days in February, and we don't really deal with certain issues where they affect people. And today we there again, we not they give up, we not they relent. We want at least if now one person be impacted by some of the things we say here, we feel like that one person will impact another, and we have done a great deal for Help Develop Salon. And we say if you get a happy home, then we are building a happy nation, happy kids, people that we get for grow, for make beautiful decisions. Because if you know they're in a good mind space, you might make decisions where they affect the nation as a whole. Because these people from homes are occupying offices there, out there, and where the mama or the mommy take care of a man in mindset or give peace, you back looking at the office, the man they translate that peace now in working environment. So I'm going to go for the verse of the day, and the verse of the day comes from Genesis 31:49. It says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. As I say, the verse can give a hint of a conversation for today. And we get the quote, Ronald Reagan. It says, peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. So, so in a home or in a home setting, teeth and tongue must jam. It's not always going to be comfortable. It's not always going to be this loving, dovey moments. There are times where we must talk about hard, difficult conversations that might stir up some people in defenses or some reactions that you might not like, but still, we are going to talk about how to manage those conflicts. And we say managing conflicts or differences and incompatibility in marriages is about navigating the inevitable challenges that arises when two individuals with unique personalities, backgrounds, expectations come together. It's about learning how to communicate effectively, compromise, and find solutions to work or that work for both partners. So we are going to talk about managing conflict, differences, and incompatibility. And we get Coach Maisie here. We get for help we navigate through all those. And we go take them like one after the other. We talk about first the managing conflict. We go in a natural part of any relationship. They talk about how you address disagreements constructively without resorting to anger, blame, or defensiveness. Some man has taken in fault, they put a defensive wall. And this involves active listening, not active talking. Some people, they listen to reply, not listen to understand where this other person they come up from. Expressing your needs and feelings clearly and finding solutions to address both partners' concern. Most times, imagine a person say, I'm hungry. Just a simple example. I'm hungry, and you go say, why you not cook? But that's not the concern at that moment. It's finding solution to the anger, not finding the problem. You begin dig the problem, which will not bring solutions. So I don't know if you want to talk about how managing conflict effectively and constructively can help build a beautiful and peaceful home.
Thank you very much. This is a very interesting and practical topic. It's a real one. Some people think that the proof that your marriage is good is that there will never be disagreement. It's not realistic.
Yeah,
it's not a realistic
expectation.
approach, expectation. Why? Because you and your partner are different, very different. We'll talk about differences in just a bit. So the thing is, you should prepare your mind that there will be times where we will not agree.
Yeah.
when those times come, how should we handle it? Right? Let me even speak to the mindset you should have before even going straight into answering the question.
Yeah.
The mindset you should have is that, one, disagreement can arise anytime, any day.
Yeah.
But it is up to the two of you to determine how far that disagreement will go and how long it will last, and if it will degenerate to the point of conflict. Right?
Okay.
So conflict is that place where there is now an obvious fight between two of you.
Yeah.
You're exchanging words, you're angry at each other, you're having a go at each other. Now, but it does not have to get to that. So you need to understand, first of all, that disagreements will come up, and when there's a disagreement or there's a misunderstanding, then both of you should seek to solve the problem. Where are we getting it wrong? Do you understand?
Yeah.
What is the issue? You are not the issue. I am not the issue. There is an issue. What is it? Right? So that mindset will even prepare you ahead of time. That's one. Two, you also should know that disagreement can happen innocently. I don't mean to talk to you like that. Not be waiting at me when I do waiting I do. You know? So because of our differences, you will perceive something I do in a way that is not good.
Yeah.
I can perceive something you do in a way that is not good, but I did not mean to hurt you. But if you don't have this understanding, when that thing happens, instead of bringing it to the knowledge of your partner, you go vex, you go scatter everywhere, you go insult, you go cuss out, you start saying all of those kind of things. And then when you do that, it's what we call and response. I'm calling a response from you. If I attack you, I'm calling for attack.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
You see, nobody wants to feel like the lesser one, right? So if you use a tone that is offensive, naturally you will elicit or you will trigger offense from that person. But when you understand that, what if it not mean to annoy me? What if not be so a thinker? You will apply grace in dealing with that person. You see? So let me just address those mindsets first. So first of all, I said the fact that disagreements will happen, but it does not have to degenerate to conflict. It depends on both of you to determine how long it will last and how far it will go. Then I said disagreements can happen innocently. Right? So you should be graceful towards your partner. 3, you should know that disagreement is not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. It's only bad when Unanofi handle them well, and then it spoils the relationship between the two of you. But if you understand how to use disagreement, then you would know that it is showing you the light in certain dark areas. In other words, this thing you don't know say it did there before. Now you know it is there. How can you handle it? So, for example, the example you gave about whether you don't chop, and then the person answer,
Don't cook.
you don't cook. What that is telling you is that this person has a way of responding maybe to questions with counter questions. Right? You may find it very offensive because where you're coming from, when you ask that question, that's not the kind of answer you get. All right? But now you have seen that anytime I say this person responds like this, I feel offended. But why do I feel offended? Why does she respond like that? We need to talk about it. Right? So one day I'll come tell you, my wife, this thing where they do every time, I know they like her more. If I ask you this question, that's how you go answer me. Why you they talk like that? You don't be like say you don't get respect for your house. Then you go explain, say, no, not play, they play. But so they play for our house. So you see, I say, I don't want to play. You say, yes, now, you're watching. I make I call me my mom. You call your mama, hey, mommy, Anna, you don't chop. Now I'm going to answer you like that. You go here and say, not true. It be like saying, so these people, they grow. Do you understand? With that understanding, if it happens again, I go laugh instead of make I vex.
True.
Because now I know that, okay, no be problem she defied, no be stubborn girl. All right. So those mindset, it will help you prepare for conflict when it arises. So I could go on and on, but let me just stop there. Those very basic things, right? Now, to managing it, okay, the fourth thing I would say first, it will help us in managing it, to take me into this. The fourth thing I would say is that if you know say you are married person, prepare your mind that this marriage, I will look for peace in this marriage, not problem. I love problem always. Then don't marry. All right, don't get married. If you love problem always. Don't marry. Stay by yourself. I'll be troubling your neighborhood.
And for war.
I'm not a man of love. If you're not a man of love, stay on your own. Don't marry, please. Don't bring problem to another person's life. All right. So prepare your mind that between me and this my wife or my husband, there will be peace. Prepare your mind down so that when that offense comes, the operating system for your mind, the thinking, not to how to fight, but how to resolve. Do you get it? Because for many people, the thinking is when you annoy me, I fight you.
We'll show ourselves.
Yes, I fight you. You know, but no, change that thinking to when my partner annoys me, I will seek to resolve.
Yeah.
And this is how I say it, you know. If the real intent of your heart is to resolve conflict, it will determine your approach in facing that conflict. Because instead of attacking your partner, maybe you will now see that you should ask questions or you should talk softly. Like that portion with our verse for today.
Yeah.
A gentle answer turns away wrath. But harsh words will stir up anger. Proverbs 15:1, right? So if you know that what I want to do is resolve this thing, even though you are angry, because this is not your partner we talk about. We're not just they talk general anybody anywhere on the street. This is the person where you stay for house 24 hours. You want to do life together.
Yeah.
Then you should have a disposition in your heart. You go ready your heart, say, when conflict comes, I will find a way to resolve it. All right? So with all of those background where I don't set, now how do we manage the conflict? Right? One, you go see the conflict when it gather, when it brew. You go see them, you go know. Right? From that moment when you start feeling irritated, when you don't vex, you don't annoyed, right? You go know say something is happening here. You know it. You feel the signals, right? Then it's left for you at that point to now choose that instead of allowing this thing to grow, let me talk about it. You cannot do conflict resolution without communication. Yeah. Communication is everything in a relationship. Let me talk about it. In talking about it, the question now becomes, how do you talk about it? And then when do you bring it up? So the man just returned from work. Very bad day. In boss don't threaten and say, if you make this mistake again, we will sack you, we will disgrace you, we will arrest you, we will lock you up. You know he's having a bad day. So you don't even remember call you since, maybe even miss your call because that period the day disciplinary panel for office, they drill him left, right, center. You know the guy don't tire for this work. He thinks, say, if I come out this job now, where I go see money feed my family, if I want to start business, you know, many thoughts going through his head. Problems left, right, center. Inside that one, the guy still they think, and money go so finish for house. So I need to find way to raise money before the next salary. You know, he's thinking of so many things. Then he come house, you know, they smile. You greet him, welcome, oh. Guy just, he don't even hear you because he might not hear. You know, he just waka pass. Then you say, I don't blame you.
Not me.
Yeah, because you know, then you just go off. You know, that's what the other day said. Remember what I said? Call response. You are calling for something. You will get the response.
All the office drama.
All the problem we did I had that day. You go come out on top of your body. But you have a valid point you were trying to make. It's just that you did not say it at the right time and you did not say it properly. That's why in marriage we teach couples you must be sensitive to each other. Not be just to your own needs, but to your partner's needs. The fact say as he enter house, you see say his face they long, face they down, it they sad. Anything where you want to talk, you go suspend them first. Check on him.
Yeah.
How are you doing, sir? Wetin happen, my husband? Wetin they do for work today where your face just wetin happen? Check on him. speak to that issue he's going through at that time. The same thing, or the other way around for the man.
Yeah.
You come home, even though you've had a bad day,
but
you observe, say your wife just sit down one kind, just they move body one kind, just you self go call and say, my wife, how are you? You don't look very okay. Is everything fine? Is there anything I can do to help? You go leave your own problems. Suspend them first.
Yeah.
Keep them somewhere. Because now this is the person you're doing life with. You know? So you must be sensitive to the other person. But if you never learn well, say marriage na sacrifice.
Yeah.
You go to wait to make the other person come attend to you. You go see, say your wife, since you come back, she never move. She's just lie down on top chair. You the tell her, say, get me my food. My friend, can't you say I've come back? Where's my food? Do I have to tell you? If now your guest of these days now, just start to go. Meanwhile, she just received one bad news.
Yeah.
Maybe mama they rush and go hospital. You know, maybe she dey sick. You don't even care about that. You go off like that. When you do that, if she get enough energy, she self go answer you in a bad way. But if she no get energy, she go just leave you just. And you don't say that one like in the pain pass. You know,
no comment.
So no comment. Hey, you go just carry body one kind. They look you, do eye like this. You know, size you up. You know. So the point is, be sensitive to each other to know how to communicate. Right? So a typical case of when you're sensitive to each other is you don't observe, say, okay, this time no they good to talk, this time they good. Then you bring up the conversation. And then when you bring them up, you're not trying to attack your partner. Let me give you an example of attack words where people they use all the time when they don't know. 1, always. Never. So for example, you always forget to buy food when you're coming back. I go tell you something today, they always forget anything what I tell you. Nobody will discuss for money before you come on, but you they always. When you're saying that to your partner, what you're telling them is that you don't get sense. You're not smart enough. You're not serious. Because you have judged them.
Yeah.
You're not giving them any room to defend themselves. You're not giving any room for understanding. Now judgment you they pass. So you are always doing this. Or the flip side, you never, that's how you used to do. You never care about what I'm going through. You never. You go to think, say, but the other day, I not be care, they care when I do this, when I do. Why you go say because of this one we spoil today? You say never, right? So those are some words people use that they don't know is generating more problem, right? So instead, this is how you do it. You talk about how that event affected you without making your partner guilty. So let me give an example. When I come back home and I meet you lying down on the bed, on the chair in the parlor, and you don't even get up to welcome me, it makes me feel like, right? I'm not attacking you now. It makes me feel like maybe I am not valued in my house. This is how it makes me feel. Now I'm giving you the opportunity to say, no, I'm sorry, I did not know. In my house, that's how we used to do it. Nobody used to go and welcome anybody. If you enter, open the door by yourself, go sort yourself out. Yeah. Right? But now I've given you an invitation to explain. Yeah. Now when you say that, oh no, but you know that I respect you. Now, how will I know if you don't show it? But have I not shown it in other ways? Do I speak to you? Yeah, no, you don't speak to me well, but when I come back and you don't come and greet me, I feel disrespected. Now she knows. What is the way forward? I will really appreciate it. Now you're giving a solution. Not be just complain. I would really appreciate it if anytime you see me like this, because I'm looking forward to come home and meet my wife. I've missed you for all these hours I was at work, right? Now, assuming she's not working or assuming she got home before you, because in this day and age, she should also work to support the family, right? She should do something productive. But you can't explain, say, I look forward to coming home. So when I come home and I don't receive that energy back, it affects me in a kind of way. Now she knows. And then she's like, well, I'm not used to that, but I will try. So tomorrow when you come back, you're going to look out. She's not going to remember, you can't do. She gonna say, oh, oh, my husband, una go laugh.
Yeah.
You tell her, say you try, this one at 5/10.
Yeah.
You see the learn, you learn, right? It has become a fun thing.
Yeah.
But if you did not follow the gradual process,
Yeah.
right, you go just attack your wife, or you not go even attack him, you go just the vex. You're going to put her for your mind, you're going to put her for your mind, one day, everywhere go bust. You see, so there is a way to manage conflict, right? I said, first of all, identify the brewing issues. Identify it. There's always a cause for the conflict, and you will see it. So from the moment you recognize it, know that this thing is making me feel a kind of way. Then bring it up with your partner. And then when bring it up in a way that is calm, that is peaceful, and then at a time when they are ready to listen to you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me stop there. I don't talk plenty.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
And from what you just said, it's going to lead us to the next thing we are talking about, which is differences. And the example you just gave, that maybe the person, they don't welcome them at home.
Yeah.
And it makes me to remember that in my house, where my dad used to come, and when he's annoyed about something, he doesn't say anything. He'll just
Quiet.
pass.
Yeah.
He'll be making his head like this. That's why they watch you now. Everybody know. Don't
vex.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll come the next day, pass. We'll know that something is eating him up. And so even when we go about our day, or maybe get people, we try to, it naturally happens that we do it the same way as in resolving conflict. We hardly talk about it because we are not in that space where our dad used to speak. So when he's annoyed to a point, and one day he will meet us watching a movie, he will just take the television and throw it out. Now because they watch it, make my see me face, but you don't talk
about anything. We're not invited. Yeah,
exactly. So even we now, you got to take grace of God for anybody for day around we. You get for push three.
Yeah.
If you meet up with that person, but if you meet up person in back, they don't talk about it. So you get to that point. You just drive apart.
Yeah.
Now we're at the same home. Married couples, I'm saying. Now we're at the same home. When I get issues, but because we're not able to find way for yourself, I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So that brings us to differences. Engaging those differences.
Yeah.
So if you are in a relationship especially when it comes to conflict, and you both have different ways of resolving conflict. Maybe one person likes to talk about it, the other person will prefer not to say anything until they are ready, and that might take weeks until they are ready to resolve that. How do you bridge that differences, especially because marriage is all about compromise? Yes, that's how you deal with conflict. But this person likes to talk about it and get it over with, because maybe this person is already likes your space, doesn't like keeping malice. And so how do you really bridge that for people to communicate, and that person also have some space to think about whatever they will say afterwards?
Very excellent question. While I was thinking of different ways to handle it, a particular scripture came to my mind. So let me refer to it. I don't want to misquote it, so give me a second. Let me just quickly pull it out. And then I would use that to answer the question. Okay? Because this thing about differences is real. So, differing one to another. Just give me a second. I will find it now. Okay, I know where it is basically. It's Romans chapter 12. But I'm trying to get the exact verse. Yeah. So I will bring it out now. Let me see. Maybe it's verse 11 or 12. Okay, verse 9, verse 10. Let me see. Okay, verse 10. So this is what it says, right? It says, be devoted to one another in love. Be committed to each other in love. In honor. Preferring the other person to yourself. The way the NIV put it is honor one another above yourself. All right. Now, I was looking for the version that used that term, deferring to the other person, or preferring the other person above yourself.
Wow.
Yes. So that's a very major key for handling differences. Right? This is my approach. This is your approach. But if we hold on to our separate approaches, then we will not solve the issue. Because I don't want to talk about it ever. I just want to calm down by myself. And you want us to talk about it now? Let's talk about it. If not, this matter has not rested. And people can go weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay, let me use this example with a major gender difference. There are some men who just want to move on.
Yeah.
Because when they quarrel with their guys, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
They quarrel and then tomorrow they see at lunch and then, hey, guy, what's up? Oh, yeah, they just sweep it under the carpet like it never exists. They just move on, right? So that kind of man wants to do the same thing with his wife, who is used to having face-to-face discussion with her girls. This one, that one. So she's waiting for that conversation, and Oga has moved on. He has moved on like it never happened.
Maybe something happened during the night, and in the morning, like nothing happened.
He has moved on. It did not happen. He has moved on, But for her, until we talk about it, I haven't moved on. Now, in applying this scripture I reference, Romans 12, verse 9 or 10, when you honor your partner above yourself, what you're going to tell yourself is, left to me, I am fine. But if this thing is important to her or to my partner, then let me go with them their way. So if she wants us to talk now, even though my whole body just eats me up, I'm not used to this thing. But because it is important to you, I will sit and listen and get involved in the conversation. Now, while I have this mindset, you, who is also my partner, is having the same mindset that, okay, while I want to talk about it right now, since that is not his style, I'll also try to wait and probably find a better time to bring it up. Now, when both of you have a mindset that is aimed at supporting each other, you'll discover that you are more understanding. Now, the man wants to, like in this example I gave, maybe he wants to just keep quiet, but he knows you want to talk about it because you have tried to bring it up. Instead of just hushing you or shushing you and telling you, forget it, he'll say, okay, let's have the conversation. Then he will make himself available. Meanwhile, you in your mind, you have already prepared yourself that even if he does not want to have this conversation now, I will not be offended. I will give him time and later we will have this conversation. You see? So I just showed you how both parties applying the understanding of that scripture that says you should prefer one another above yourselves, right? When you apply that, you discover that it's easier to come to a place of peace. Now, let me back it up a bit and talk about the origin of these differences. So there are four major origins or sources of these differences. The first one is obvious. Gender. I am male, you are female. That is already a lot of difference. Our body composition, especially internally, even externally, of course, is different. Now, what that means is that the way I process things is different from the way a lady will process it. Okay? Because we are fundamentally different. The way we would see things is different. Time will fail me to really get into examples, but I'm sure you understand it. It's different, right? So, a lady can walk into a place and just say, I'm not comfortable here. I don't like this place. And she'll go away. And the man is like, what is wrong with this place? What can you say? You're just not explain now. She cannot explain, but she does not like it, and she cannot stay here. You see, it's that sixth sense you people have. And true to it, if you stay there long, something bad will happen there. And she say, but I told you I wasn't comfortable here, right? It's a grace God has given the woman sometimes. So that's just an example, right? So gender is basically different. Then temperament or personality types. This thing you explained about some people want to talk, some people want to walk away or keep quiet, is a difference in personality. Okay, so when you understand that, now so this person be, not be say, they find trouble. It's a natural tendency for this kind of person. You have more understanding in responding to them. Okay, so that's temperament. The other one now is life experiences. Even if you grew up in the same house, on the same street, your experiences about life will be different. Right? Then the fourth one, will now be, I've talked about gender, temperament, those experiences, environment. Environment. We grew up in different environments. We have different belief systems. We have different cultural settings. So those are things that will make us naturally act differently to each other.
True.
Right? That is why we need to have a heart of understanding and being graceful to our partner. Extend grace. Everything must not happen the way you want it to happen. You know,
Why?
My way or the highway. No, it's wrong. Extend grace. It must not go the way you want.
Yeah.
You're right, because you are different. So now that you know that there are all of these sources, it's not necessarily because your partner is trying to be troublesome.
Yeah.
When you understand this, your approach will just be different. When certain things happen, you will ask yourself questions. Maybe this is how they do it where she comes from. Maybe it's just her personality type. Maybe she's going through some issues. Maybe this thing reminds her of something that's happened before. Maybe. With all of those maybes, you will choose to be understanding until you find the reason why this person is behaving like this. I'm talking about what should be. The real challenge is that many people are not emotionally developed enough to get married. It isn't because I don't be adult, I get bodily features, or I can get a girl pregnant, then I'm ready to be a man. Or as a girl, you say I can give birth to a child, now I'm ready to get married. But no, emotional maturity is very key.
Yeah.
It's very key.
Yeah.
All right. So when you're able to think like this, you have more chances of dealing with those differences. Yeah. But don't forget that point I said, prefer one another to yourself. If you know how to apply that,
they go far.
You go far.
So we're opening the phone lines on 088-971-971. And if you're listening to your radio, any way you did, you get phone, maybe phone they go Facebook, you can go on Facebook and just type Radio Fry Fry, you go see me. And if you watch already live on Radio Fry Fry, you can like and comment and share, so we'll not say you did listen. And as we said, this is now the Brunch Show, Radio Fry Fry 97.1 FM, and we're there again for talk about in the way really necessary and relevant to our daily lives. And we'll continue the conversation. The phone lines open on 088-971-971. We wait for you call. But as we wait for you call, we not just want to talk, but we're going to talk, continue the conversation as we wait for you call. No worry, anytime we call, we pick. You can call on WhatsApp, you can call on normal call, and we're there for listening to you. As we say, we continue the conversation, and now they can talk about addressing incompatibility. And most times when we were growing up, maybe now we on days that they talk about that often. We get to maybe go on YouTube and watch bottom or listen to them. But there were times some people not get access to that. They said maybe they just get married, maybe they're not at church, and you see this person and you don't even know there is no courtship, or long-term courtship for understand the person better. So now get married and find yourself in a situation very, very much incompatible. Maybe the person in left for sleep something, you left for sleep in the morning, or the person outgoing and you just more introverted, or maybe when I go some side, the person as he reach, it don't let you force the greet, it don't greet all rounded. But you just maybe you don't even want that kind of person there. You want person way more closed up than person so social. So you get to find yourself in that particular situation, and this person I don't feel like we are compatible. We can stay together, or we can actually manage each other. Maybe even conversation quick on a flare up, because there are so many differences, as we have already spoken about. So many differences. So the way they talk about home, peaceful home, you don't get to enjoy that, because sometimes you just look at your partner and say, this is not what I wanted. Or this is not what I can handle.
Oh my, yeah.
There are some ladies or some women where some man they prefer to now street till 12 o'clock before going into that home. Because of maybe as they go, the person they talk, the way they even maybe lady picking and complain, go flare up, blow the thing out of proportion, even small issues when I get it's flared up. So how can somebody manage that particular thing instead of thinking about the easy way out, which is fiop? But now you have decided and you are seeing those differences, which are major, because certain differences can be dealt with easily. Maybe like family background, maybe the owner they dress, or those some are manageable, but some are very huge and they eat through the fabric of even the marriage. So how can we, those incompatibility differences or ability or qualities we have, how can somebody, instead of running away, you really sit down and work on them? So
this is assuming you are already married.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's where it's tougher now. Because you're already married, and if you understand the orientation that we're promoting about marriage is that marriage is for life.
Life.
All right. So if you're already inside, then your full-time assignment now is how to handle this difference. Okay. And remember what I said before, communication is key.
Okay. Yeah.
Both of you need to, you see, marriage is like a negotiation
All
where
the
I
time.
bring my own, you bring your own, we talk, we find the middle ground,
Yeah.
and then we agree. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's also important that there are what we call negotiables and non-negotiables in marriage. You know, that's why it's important you know it before you even got married. So if an area of incompatibility, for example, borders on faith, that is very basic, very core, and very key.
Yeah.
So now, you don't marry finish. You can't discover, say, even though una meet for church, your husband or wife, they do what we call African traditional religion.
Yeah.
So, he gets calabash for under bed.
Every December they go
Village, go do things, you know. And then you have already found this out. Like, what did I get myself into? Right? Communication.
Yeah.
Communication. Not fight. Not attack. Communication. Okay. I didn't know you were into this thing. Though. Tell me more about it. How did you get into this? Right?
Yeah.
You'll just be surprised to find out that in our house, from our great-great-grandfather to my grandfather to my father, it's just the way it's just the way they pass it on to us. So you say, oh really? Okay, but does it work for you? Share with me instances. How do you do it? When do you do it? You know where you're going to.
Yeah.
But you don't want to just spoil the whole place. You know? Oh yeah, talk to me. But the other day you were in church that they were praying, you say amen. So which one are you believing? Is it this one or is it that one? Or you said no, you join the two together and say, all right? But now, you see, you have opened the floor for conversation.
Yeah.
The same way you have asked about her conviction is the same way you should be willing to share your own conviction about your Christian faith. Right? Because you will just discover there are many people, and I'm saying this very authoritatively, many people are doing things that they don't think about.
Yeah.
It is just the way they were used to. They met it. They don't really think about. Many people have not had the chance to question certain things, even about their behavior.
Yeah.
It's the way, just normal. It's just easy to flow like this. But when you open the grounds for conversation, then you will discover that, okay, now they are willing to hear more.
Yeah.
Right? They're willing to hear more. And then you ask them, but this carved wooden something that you go and bow your head and pray every morning, who made it? He says one carpenter in my village. Carpenter, woodwork, what do you call it in local parlance, right? So something that human being creates.
Maybe the carpenter go down thyself.
You concern at that thing, then they answer your prayer. This thing, if you help yourself, if I carry am using head, hit one. Can you stop me? Do you understand? So why are you putting your faith in this thing? When you open it up to conversation and start asking questions, you will now see that, okay, there might be room, flexibility for reasoning and all that. And then you share your own faith, right? But take note, please. Incompatibility issues don't change overnight. It's a process. It's over time. Over time. It does not change overnight. So take note. Engage in the conversation. Become more intentional about it. Share more materials that your partner can listen to believe what you also believe.
Yeah.
You know, but if you see that this person is just completely unrepentant, stubborn, they don't really care about it, then you can consider external services like a counselor, maybe your pastor in church, or somebody that both of you mutually respect and submit to. You can invite a professional third party at that point to help you people. While you're doing all of that, please be praying, just be praying. Be praying, nothing God cannot change. Let him go inside that person's heart and go and change it.
Because there are people who can be very stubborn at that time. Especially when you want to change something they are used to for a very long time. And you want just tune the button and say, if I change today, this particular... Actually, when maybe men and maybe the woman or, that ego, they kind of say, I mean, I'm the man of this house, anything I don't say, it's final.
Yeah.
And women sometimes try to be, that's why they say we should be submissive, because who back you want to say, me back, if I not cook at this house, nobody eat, you back go now, you go survive. So all this, as you said, the way you respond to certain things, or the way you say certain things, can trigger a response in a very negative way or sometimes positive way.
That's right.
So we have dealt with managing conflict and all these other things, differences and incompatibility, also strives for managing them as well.
Yeah. So just before we move on, let me add this. Now, for incompatibility, we spoke to those who are married.
Yep.
Now, if you are not married, there are things to look out for. And I'll just break it down for ease of communication and coverage. One, spiritually, are we on the same page? Do we believe the same thing? Do you understand? Are we on the same page? Do we believe the same thing spiritually? Intellectually, can we understand each other's conversation? Can we laugh at the same joke? Or if one watch joke, they laugh. What's they do? Why they laugh like that? You have to explain it. Then you could explain joke, and then joke they don't explain now. If you explain that, we don't spoil. Then you go explain for now and say, oh, okay. You are not on the same frequency. You are on different wavelengths. So intellectually is very key. Socially, financially, of course, I said spiritually first, and then every other area you consider important in your life, you should talk about it, and you should observe, because one person can give you an answer from the mouth, but in real life it's different. So observe. Yeah. But then, compatibility does not mean you must be the same.
The same.
It simply means you must be able to agree on something. So even if you're not the same, but you can agree on something to achieve the goal, then you are compatible. For example, bolts and nuts are not the same, but they're compatible because they can agree and work together. Your wall socket and a plug and the socket are not the same. But when you put the plug into the socket, it goes in because they are designed to work together. So that's it. You must not always be the same, but can you agree easily so that you can achieve the goal? That's compatibility. So look out for that in that person. Not just look body, not just look money, you get money, you get car, you get big house. No. Look at compatibility, all right? If you're not yet married.
If you're not yet, if you are married now, you have to manage.
Work it what you have. Consult us later. Let's train you.
Coach Mezi is here. Consult him later. So we are going to continue the conversation, but we want to talk about the promo that is going on right now. Chicken Town is on a very big promotion, and they have kekes that they are giving out. Wow! But to get small catch to this promotion, the promotion they run from February to April, and the catch is you have to buy a meal from 40 leon and above. So any meal where you buy from 40 leon and above, you entitled for me then give you a slip. And if you write your name inside a book, in case you go buy 40 leon and above and you not write your name inside a book, I just want to tell you, you're not go entitled for win the keke. So when you go in a Chicken Town, you can go Joy, you can go Charlotte Street, you can go to Anna Lumley, Aberdeen Lodge, and PZ. You can any Chicken Town branch go and buy 40 leon meal and write your name inside a book that they give you a ticket, and that ticket and they make you entitled for win the keke in April. So I just share with Tuna and Coach Mezi, and they start for buy meal now.
Oh, yes.
Keke right now, if you get keke, transportation problem don't over. So any way they go any Chicken Town branch and buy a meal of 40 leon and above and stand a chance for win keke. And we continue the conversation.
Excellent.
We continue the conversation.
Yeah.
And we want make people say there is no relationship that can just end like that if both people agree that it can last for this long. Most times I can tell people say the reason why make una part or why una get a breakup because una two decide say you guys are no longer working on this. Either one person decides say, they put no more effort in this relationship. and you want put effort, it's not going
It
to
won't work.
work.
Yeah.
Or maybe when I two say when I put effort, it's not going to work. So most times I tell people the reason how we're going to resolve this, talk to your partner. Can we resolve this issue? Because sometimes it's just little things or little misunderstanding that can be worked on. Except the person don't see other person way better. Or you want go, you don't see other relationship. you don't wait in talking stage, and in talking stage look better past the relationship way they into. But even in marriages, most times you can hear this one partner, they are willing to work on the relationship, on the marriage, and this other person just the devil just the user for be stubborn. And when you meet up that person, this other person, they might not be there forever. They're not going always they push on and push on. There is a breaking point to everybody. Get to a time where you get tired and say, this person is not willing to change. This person is not willing to make effort. But if you sit down and say, okay, I want to work on this relationship. I'm willing to put hands on deck. Can we put hands on deck? What's the issue? As Coach Maisie say, una not to the issue. Now get an issue where they on board or where they on the table, and you have to address it. If not the way they communicate, this is the issue. I don't like how you talk or how we address certain things, or maybe it's, you call family members to come and sit on our matter, and I don't like that. I prefer we deal with it individually. That's how they feel comfortable. So man no like in business, they're all about the street. And when they pass now going to family gathering, or man know what did that happen, and they feel like they feel light that people are they lose respect, they lose their confidence. So they don't like it to be handled that way. But you don't go in a family, all time is don't pack case. Also now any elected sibling get issue, now they call the whole family member for gather. So there might be these differences, but if you people talk about it, how to even about managing conflict, you have to agree back. When I agree back how for man not talk bad English. When I agree how for manage the conflict that you guys are having. If when I feel like third party should be involved, I agree. Say certain stages this conflict might take. We have to allow, because we are no longer listening to each other. Everybody's standing on their point or on their grounds. Let's go out there and seek help. I agree, because you might want to seek help. One person might want to seek help, the other person will not go. You go say you find counsel or you find when I go through therapy, then you want to go, you go. And when you want to go, it's not effective because the thing is not being addressed. With the partner, the other person also needs to be heard. And so even when we are talking about this conflict or how to manage it, we want to emphasize that it's not one person's effort. It's both people who should agree that they will make every effort or put every hands on deck for the relationship to work. It might be marriage, it might be courtship leading to marriage, or even just a dating stage that you guys have agreed that we're going to look at each other, see if we can work on something for the future. So I've said all that. We are almost running out of time, and we'll go through the Facebook comments. If you're listening, you can just send your comment now on Facebook and we'll read it. But I just want Coach Maisie to just summarize these things we have said and some of the key things that people should work on individually on themselves. Things that you for always, there's this thing I learned that self-assessment is key. There are times when you have been in several or two relationships and it didn't work out. You have to sit and assess yourself. People should not always be the problem. Sometimes maybe even you yourself, maybe the fact that you gave your all, you are so clingy, you were everywhere, the person forgot about yourself. That could also be a problem. Maybe some people like their space. Some people like some time to themselves to think about what to do, do things on their own. They are used to that. So I just want us to emphasize on key areas that people should look on or work on, and maybe just few pointers. One make relationship then last now, especially 2025. One make divorce rate reduce, that's one, and one make breakup rate reduce as well. So I just want you to give some key pointers on how people should, because conflict is the main thing that destroys.
Of course. Okay, I mean we've said a lot. I talked about communication. So learn the art of communication. It's not the way you have been doing it. There is a way to do it. So learn that. In communication, we also have listening. All right? You need to learn how to listen to your partner. You need to learn it. Listen means you are trying to understand what they're saying. Not be say I dey hear you, I dey hear you, I dey hear you. No. You are paying attention.
Yeah.
Active listening, not passive listening. So that when they say something, even if it's not what you like, you are trying to see it from their own lens. Right? That is listening. You are trying to understand it the way your partner is saying it. So when you're listening and then certain things are not clear, you will ask question, did you mean that? Or do you mean to say? Is this what you're trying to communicate? Because you want to understand it. Now, when they land and then you can see the picture from their own eyes, it's easier then to now tailor your own response. I'm not saying you must agree at once when you understand them, but at least now you understand what they are trying to say.
Yeah.
And you can only do that when you listen actively. All right? But remember those things I said at the beginning, that you should set your heart to find peace, not to fight. From the beginning, tell yourself, even the Bible says it, so long as it lies in your power, live at peace with all men. How much more the one that is in your house? How much more your life partner? How much more? Right? So long as it lies in your power, do everything you can. Tell yourself, this what we are looking for here is peace, it's not problem. So no matter how problem comes, we are going to solve it. We are going to fix it. Not by attacking your partner, but by isolating the issue and attacking it together. All right? If you have that kind of mindset, then it will be easier. I'm saying these things because, there's no one source of conflict in marriage. Anything, it could pass from anywhere.
From money,
anything. There's so many,
kids,
many. I mean, you're already listing it. So many. Money, of course. Children, school,
family,
food, sex, so many things. Career. And so many decision making. All right, factors can bring about stress. So the main thing is the state of your heart towards your partner, irrespective of where the source is coming from. The principles are the same. The cases will be different, but the principles are the same. So let me leave it there, so that we can also take the comments and then.
So we are going through a few of our Facebook comments, and we have from Victoria Toure, say conflict is not as bad as we think. Sometimes if we are not disagree, we are not going to agree. If we are not put the thing on the table, how can you know the differences and resolve certain issues before even they happen, future issues happen? And Ibrahim T. Kuma says, good morning, my people in the studios. I'm glad to see this beautiful day again. Yes, we are glad too. Radio Fry, we talk, they listen. Yes, now they talk and we they listen. And this is Ibrahim T. Kuma, the media follower and the contributor in Bo. Good morning, Mr. Ibrahim T. He said, according to those who study conflict, they say sometimes it's good to involve into conflict, but I believe we are talking about partnership love. Yes. Not to that one, they go feto. And Ibrahim T continues, say doctors love patients, police need perpetrators, lawyers need conflict. Yes, they need for solve conflict or make money.
Yeah.
I'm a health educationist student, but what I understand by conflict, it has both negative and positive. During the war, there are people who benefited millions of properties. In fact, they don't even want the war to end, while others were killed and raped. Conflict is a broad topic that doesn't need to flame in any relationship. Okay, Mr. Ibrahim T. And we continue from Konde S. Gila. Good morning, Radio 55. Good morning, Mr. Konde. And we have one from Safiya Amadu Toka. Good morning, Radio Fry. Thanks for this beautiful show. Loving every minute. Thank you so much. And we are almost at the end of the show. We just want to say thank you to our brand sponsors for Love on the Airwaves show. And we have Rokel Commercial Bank. We have World Hope International. We have Mitchcom. We have Dolphin Express. We have AfriMoney. And we have Gulf Water. We're now one of the water then we the water we needed now every home, every life. And it's hey, I don't know how to talk about the water, but now the best, it's fulfilling, it gives you good hydration, it's not contaminated. Women say when you drink you not go feel any kind of way, and you not get color, you not get taste. a clean and the perfect water for every home, for every child, for every family, for every marriage home. So sometimes when I involve in conflict, they say when you drink water, you can think better. When you drink water, you can think better. So go and get your Gulf water. Keep it in your home for every hard and difficult conversation you're about to take. Especially when you don't know when to talk about it. Just drink water. It will give you time to think better. So this is how we end the show for today. And we just want to say bye from my own side and Mr.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
See ya.